afternoon. Happy Black Friday. This is Shawn Labelle of the Dekker Hewett Group. It was a positive, albeit somewhat shortened week here for North American markets, as the U.S. was, of course, closed on Thursday, and then it was just a half-day session on Friday. Despite the shortened week, it was a busy week for macroeconomic news, as we did get the Fed minutes on Wednesday. The Fed minutes are just a recap of the conversation Fed officials had before their last interest rate hike. And something that became abundantly clear was that Fed officials do expect a moderation in the pace of interest rate hikes here. Soon was the key word that was taken from these Fed minutes. This just means that markets are likely now pricing in a 50 basis point rate hike for the month of December. This is opposed to the 75 basis points that had been expected for some time. But also more importantly, it's also the terminal rate. That's the final interest rate that we might see in this interest rate hike tightening cycle. That rate might now be coming a little bit lower. And that's really what's also moved markets this week here, is we're starting to get a little bit of clarification that we are definitely near the end of this interest rate hike tightening cycle. And that's what markets really want to see, is they just want to get a bit of clarity in terms of where we will finish. So we discussed that a little bit in this week's Market Watch Weekly. We also jump into a little bit of the conversation of Howard Marks. For some of you that don't know him, he's an industry veteran that's been around for decades and decades. Oaktree Capital is his hedge fund. He publishes an investor note every now and then, and it's really important for investors to take a read of that. So we've included a couple paragraphs in this week's Market Watch Weekly. Just discusses that investors shouldn't focus on the short-term noise. It's a big investment decision, an investment rule rather, in finance for investors to focus on the long term when making decisions. So we just include a little bit of commentary in this week's Market Watch Weekly from his investor letter. If anyone wants a full copy of it, we also have a copy of that available to you. So don't hesitate to reach out. We will end it there. Hope everyone enjoys a bit of shopping this weekend. Go Canada, go, and we will talk to you again next week. Cheers.